Okay, so part two of the Damian Lillard trade just went down, and that's where Drew Holiday was dealt to the Boston Celtics in return for Brogdon, Robert Williams, and 2 first-round picks, one in 2024 via Golden State, top 4 protected, and an unprotected Boston pick in 2029. Fans around the league, Blazers fans were so quick to clown Joe Cronin for the initial trade, saying they got fleeced, the Miami trade was better, but he had a vision, and the vision was, we might not get the most from Milwaukee, but the asset they're going to give us, we can flip for even more. And alongside them getting Malcolm Brogdon now, I understand he has some health issues, but you could turn Malcolm Brogdon again because this video is being made before he is potentially being traded. You could get another first round pick and multiple seconds for Malcolm Brogdon because Woj already said that the Blazers are looking to trade him. And although he has some health issues, this is the reigning sixth man of the year and a guy of a lot of value around the NBA. So that could be potentially 4 unprotected first round picks and God knows what else you could get in return for Malcolm Brogdon. So this is a perfect trade. And people who don't really see the vision, I feel like Joe Cronin did the best possible thing for the Blazers because he got a guy like DA who a lot of people are down on, but he's already shown signs of being a borderline all-star level center. In the right situation, I believe he could blossom into that. He's then got Robert Williams, who has shown signs of being a DPOY candidate, that's Defensive Player of the Year candidate. You see what I'm trying to say? So he's not just taking a swing at some guys who have potential but haven't showed much. Both of these guys have shown that ability, with Time Lord unfortunately being hurt a lot of the time, so not being able to string forward a great run of games to show this DPOY potential. And DeAndre Ayton just, I don't know, you can say he's soft, this, that, and the third, but hey, no one's going to be soft in Portland when you watch Nurkic for 7 years. But the point I'm trying to make is DA in the right situation can really turn some heads because he has the intangibles to become this good. I feel like the frustration with the Suns fans was that he actually had the ability to become as good as they wanted him to be. But for whatever reasons, whether that was Monty Williams, just the team as a whole, that was never able to happen. But I believe Portland's a fresh start now, and you've got a guy who could easily break into being an all-star. Easily. Okay? So if you look at the young core the Blazers have, let me not even talk about that. The picks. So this is something which, in my opinion, is going so underlooked. They've got 2 unprotected 2029 first round picks. One from Boston, one from Milwaukee. Now let's just do some easy demographics and easy logic right now. 2029 is 6 years from now. Okay? In 6 years' time, Damian Lillard will be 39 years old. In 6 years' time, Giannis will be around 35. In 6 years' time, Jason Tatum will be 30, 31. Brown will be knocking on the door to 30, 31 as well. And a lot of guys are getting older. More so from the Bucks' point of view, they'll likely be entering a rebuild in that time. And if the Blazers' rebuild goes correctly, there will be a team who's probably going to be in contention at that time. So the timeline of the picks aligns with where the Blazers will be dominant, but potentially be getting a really high draft pick via Milwaukee. Especially with the Bucks not being a very big free agent destination, as soon as Giannis starts to get up in age, and as soon as Dame probably ends up retiring, or if anything, by that time he might even be back in Portland. You get what I'm trying to say? You'll likely be getting a high draft pick via the Bucks. So that pick right there is so valuable. The Celtics, if I'm being honest, could still be really good in 2029. Who knows? But just having that cushion, knowing you have 2 unprotected 2029 first round picks from them 2 franchises, is definitely a great cushion to have. Then the 2024 pick via Golden State, don't expect anything of it. It's probably going to be like the 24th or 25th pick in this upcoming draft. That's still good value. Then on top of that, you've got pick swaps from the Bucks in 2028 and 2030. That's 5 and 7 years from now. I doubt Dame will be a Buck then. And with them being a small market, they're going to have to rebuild through the draft. As I don't see them as a team who's going to end up trading Giannis or Dame for a shit ton of value, because realistically speaking, they're probably going to hold on to them until they eventually walk in free agency or until they end up retiring. So they're not going to be able to regain that value back to do what the Blazers are doing and might not completely bottom out. So this is going to be a team in which have the rights to swap a pick with the Bucks in 2028, which could be extremely valuable, and in 2030. The business they've done has probably been some of the best business I've seen, because if you look at the Gobert trade, if you look at the KD trade, this might sound stupid. Well, the KD trade was really good for Brooklyn, so let me ignore that. But in terms of superstar trades, I believe this is one of the best ones you could get, because you've actually got picks of extreme value. As in, if you look at the probability scale, I doubt the Bucks will be a good team in 2028 and 2030. I highly doubt it. So That's value there on its own. Then on top of that, you've got guys like DA and Robert Williams who, if you put together, have a lot of potential. Now, the fit is a bit weird. Is DeAndre Ayton going to start shooting because Robert Williams can't shoot? But at the same time, it could be an interesting fit. And if you don't want Robert Williams, he's still a guy who can bring in probably 1 to 2 first-round picks for himself because he's a valuable center. There's a lot of directions this could potentially go in. And I definitely think the Portland Trailblazers have a grade A on this overall package they've got for Dame, because the vision is there. You've secured yourself in the asset pool in terms of draft picks. In terms of players, I feel like they did a very good job. So I honestly feel like the Blazers have set themselves up for the future in quite a perfect way. Now, if you look at their roster right now, you've got so many guys who aren't just potential guys. For example, when a team starts to rebuild, you have a lot of high potential guys. The Blazers have guys on their roster who have actively shown they can reach that potential. Anthony Simons averaged 21 and 4 and has actively shown, okay, I can break into being an all-star or knocking on the door for an all-star position. Jeremy Grant, as much as they may look to trade him, he's a borderline all-star. DeAndre Ayton has shown signs of being a top 5 center in the NBA. Robert Williams has shown signs of being a DPOY candidate. Matisse Thybulle has made 2 all-defensive teams and is only 26 years old. They've already got foundation pieces who have shown they can actually reach this level and have actively played at that level before. Then you've got Scoot Henderson, who has the potential. I can't even gauge potential. He has the potential through the ceiling. Shaden Sharp is a wild card, but I believe if he puts it all together, his potential is through the roof as well. So you've got a perfect mix of guys who have already shown they can be a high-level NBA player and some guys with a shit ton of potential, which is either untapped in Shaden Sharp's case, in my opinion, where you see it, but sometimes you don't. And you got a guy like Anthony Simons, who you've actively seen him be able to reach that potential, and how much better can he get? Then obviously you've got someone like Scoot Henderson, whose potential is unmatched. So this is a perfect balance in their roster. This trade is an A. I don't know what they're going to do with Malcolm Brogdon, but whatever they do then is what could potentially push this to an A+, but so far so good. If you look at where teams began at the start of their rebuild or retooling, none of them were in a better position than the Blazers. Even OKC, whose rebuild looks to be a success, they started off with SGA, and that's really about it. The Blazers are starting off with so many guys who have already shown the ability of being young, all-star level players alongside a shit ton of picks. This could be a roster which in a few years' time could be competitive, or a roster where they're competitive and in a few years' time the next superstar comes out and boom, you can acquire them. So I definitely like what Joe Cronin's done here. He stood his ground. He had a vision, a multi-layered vision for this trade, which is something most GMs wouldn't see. They will just take the best offer as they see it then. You know, people thought they didn't trade him to Miami because there was some animosity between the two sides. Maybe that is true, but I believe that Joe Cronin genuinely saw the vision of acquiring Drew and flipping him for even more assets, which is why he made that deal. But as I've said multiple times, the Blazers are in a great position. So I just want to hear in the comment section down below what you guys think. Do you agree with me or disagree? But I genuinely think, wow, this trade couldn't have panned out any better. But let me know, Blazers fans, do you like this trade? Do you dislike it? What would you have done differently? What are your expectations for next year? And if Malcolm Brogdon hasn't been traded by the time I've made this video, what do you want from Malcolm Brogdon? Tell me in the comment section down below. But honestly, thank you guys so much for listening. That's all I already got for this video. Obviously, like, share, subscribe. Put in the comment section down below what kind of videos you want to see from me next. Obviously, I'm trying to get back into the swing of uploading. So just let me know what kind of content you guys want to see and I'll provide it. But thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and stay blessed, my people. And I'm out. Peace.